go ahead and start your rumble. I'm professional around here, man.
I know.
So
there we are. We're live on Rumble.
It's already going a little rough today, man.
Your picks?
I mean, I've only got one in play right now, but we got the Auburn Ole Miss game, over 157.5, and they are not going to sniff it, bro. It's ridiculous how many shots and layups these dudes have missed in the first half. You got Auburn averaging 85 points a damn game. They scored 29 in the first half, and they're ahead, mind you. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Game On. 29-22. Can't have nothing nice, man. I'm telling you. This is Crick's Corner. I am your host, Cricket, sportspicks.locals.com. Will going to be joining me for a minute, man. What you got to show me?
I wanted to show you something funny to start the show.
I love that. What up, Grass Guy? You've been in here for a minute, man. How you doing?
So the Cleveland Browns. Can you see what the record was last year?
2-16 or 2-15?
No, right here.
Is it 3-14? I saw it's real small. I don't have it blown.
Yeah.
3-14. Yep.
Can you tell me what the record of the Cleveland Cavaliers are?
Let's see. Let me blow this up. Looking like 55-10. It's a drastic difference.
Sorry, I froze there for a second. 55-10.
Yeah. Kind of comparing apples and oranges, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, how hilarious would it be if the Cavaliers finished with less losses than the Browns?
Oh, my goodness.
With them playing a quarter of the 4 times more games.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't even think about it like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Now that would be impressive.
That is funny.
That would be such a Browns thing to do.
I'm rooting for it.
Absolutely. 100% rooting for it. That's pretty cool. That's a cool little tidbit you found there.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Have a good show. Are you going about 45 or an hour?
We'll see. We'll see. Probably about 45. I'd say we don't have a whole
tune
lot
back in at about 45 to get it. If you haven't heard from me in the chat or anything like that, send me a text message if you're going to wrap it up. Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Just show it back up in about 45 or so, and we'll get it close then.
Okay, sounds good.
All right,
have
brother.
A good show.
See you, man. What up, B-Mac? How you doing, sir? Good to see you this afternoon. Like I said, what up, Grass Guy? You've been in here for an hour, man, hanging out. I appreciate y'all, man. We're going to get in here, and y'all like my support group, man. I've already it's already started out a little rough this morning. I'm telling you right now, I think a good play is, now you take that for what it's worth, the way I'm running right now, but I think a good play right now would be to jump on the in-game over in the Ole Miss and Auburn game. It is currently, it's at halftime, 29-22 Auburn, and they shot like shit the whole first half. Everybody, nobody throw one in the damn ocean the first half. But you got Auburn is the number 1 ranked team in offensive efficiency in the country. Ole Miss is the number 25 ranked team in offensive efficiency right now. And then they're not going to shoot as bad as they did in the first half, man. They're just not. And I think they're going to come out 131.5. You're at 26 points lower than the original game total. It is very rare that the book will ever miss a pregame line by that many, especially on a total. So I feel like that thing, I don't think it's going to wind up going under 131. That would blow my mind. I know they're only at 51 right now, but I got a feeling we're going to see a much better shooting performance in the second half from both of these teams. So take that for what it's worth, but I think a good play right now that you can get in. It is halftime right now. But I think over the 131.5 in-game for Ole Miss and Auburn is probably a good play. I've already bet it, and I actually bet it over 134.5. So it went down a little bit more because they still were throwing up bricks at the end of that first half. So we'll see. Maybe I doubled down. I'm going to lose both of them, but we'll see. We'll see there. I'm trying to hedge out and get a little bit of that back from the 1-unit play. What up, Derp? How you doing, sir? It's good to see you this afternoon, my friend. B-Max says, doing all right, Crick. We need to get some winners dialed in. You ain't wrong, sir. I've got my plays out, man. We'll see. Like I said, the first one has not started out well, but the next one I'm looking at does start here in about 25 minutes. If you want to get on this one or if you want to fade it, whatever you want to do here, but I'm going to take the UCLA money line. My bad, man. I ain't got this showing to y'all. We just got me sitting there hanging out. My fault, y'all. But I do like the UCLA money line in this one, plus 105 there. This will be their first game of the tournament. Wisconsin already played one yesterday. And so you've got the old factor. They've already got one game under their belt in the arena and all that. But UCLA, I like the way UCLA closed out the second half of the season. You had Coach Mick Cronin get upset about the travel back and forth to Big Ten country. They should have been here, rested up for this one for a few days now. I'd say they probably got there a couple days ago. So it's not one of those midweek travel things. And I think they should be focused up, ready to go. Really like the way they ended the season there. Finished strong. Looked pretty good down the stretch. I did get to play a lot more games in Los Angeles, I feel like. And you got a Wisconsin team that's been stout all year long. But I wasn't overly impressed with the way they closed out the game against Northwestern yesterday. I feel like they got a little complacent in that game. Should have been able to blow the doors off and win that damn thing by 20. And they wound up letting Northwestern backdoor cover on that crazy-ass three-pointer. But they only won that game by 7. I felt like they should have been much more in control of that game. I think you got a UCLA team coming in this one fresh. I decided to roll with the plus money on this one. Like I said, either team. It's kind of probably a coin flip there, but I'm going to roll with the value and the plus money on UCLA. And like I said, I do like the way they close out the season. So we got a little one-unit play on the money line for the Bruins there. I'm taking the over in the Texas-Tennessee game, man. The final of this one down in when we played in Austin, we only played them one time this year. We beat them 74-70. So it was a close game on their home floor, but north of this number, obviously. And I've told y'all before, Tennessee in games like this, man, they just seem to trend over in my mind. I know we've got the number one defense in the country and Kim Palm and all that, all the major metrics. Tennessee leads the country in defense. But this could be one today where you see a Texas team coming in. I know they played a double OT game last night, but I tend to feel like defense lacks in those spots. So you could see Tennessee get some easy buckets early on. Now, it's all going to depend on if Tennessee is shooting well or not, because they have had some games this year where they did not shoot well at all. So I think you go back to the Kentucky game and they missed 34 three-pointers. So if they do something like that, we're going to have a tough time getting over. But I don't think they're going to do that today. I think Texas will kind of ride the momentum into this thing, but I think you'll see the legs tire out down the stretch for the Longhorns, and some of that adrenaline will wear off. And I do think Tennessee will wind up stretching it out. Excuse me, y'all. But I do think they'll wind up stretching it out. But I do think you'll see a game kind of back and forth early on and put some points up in the first half. So I'm going to roll with the over. I got a 2-unit play on this one right here, over 136.5 minus 110. Let's get it on, man. Let's get it on, Grass Guy. Like I said, I don't know if you was in here a minute ago. I seen you come in here a little bit ago, but I did say good afternoon to you, sir. Hope you're doing all right. But yeah, taking the over in my balls in Texas. Like I said, I don't really hate the play on the balls right here. For some reason, I'm feeling pretty good about Tennessee running this thing. I kind of am. I don't know how that bodes for our NCAA tournament hopes, but I feel like Tennessee's going to show up to play in this SEC tournament. And so we're going to hope to score some points today, man. As long as the balls win, I don't care what they do. I'll sacrifice my 2-unit play as long as the balls get a W. St. John's and Marquette. I like this St. John's team, man. I can't bet against them. I took a minus 4.5 at minus 105. The line is at minus 3.5, minus 115. It's up to you whether you want to lay that juice or not. I do not. So I'm going to take a minus 4.5 at minus 105 because like I said, this team has been on fire for a little bit. I believe they're 27-4 on the season, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And I said this morning on the morning show, I think this team is every bit in the conversation for the final number 1 overall seed. Nobody's really talking about this team. But I think if they run through this Big East tournament and do it in kind of impressive fashion, kind of the way they did in game 1, I know it was Seton Hall, but they still thumped them. And if they do that, they wind up getting double-digit wins all the way through this Big East tournament or something. I don't know how you really deny that team the last number 1 seed, especially if Florida and Tennessee don't go. If one of those teams go on to win the SEC tournament, they're going to be the final number 1 seed. Just is what it is, the overall body of work and all that stuff. And, they do have a tougher strength of schedule than St. John's overall. So if one of those two teams go through and win the SEC tournament, then they will be the final number 1 seed. But if a team like Auburn wins it, who's already a number 1 seed, I don't know how you can't consider St. John's. So I just like the way that team's been playing. I like Rick Pitino. Seems that he has got those guys motivated, focused up, ready to go. We'll see. That's a good Marquette team, too. I like Shaka Smart, but they have definitely kind of let down in a few spots this year. I think they got 8 losses on the season. Kind of surprised me. It's normally a 4 or 5 loss team from Shaka Smart. They did have those preseason top 10 aspirations and really hadn't really lived up to those. Dropped some games they weren't supposed to. So I'm looking at the two teams right there, and I like St. John's, and I do not think Marquette is within 5 points of St. John's. We'll see. Crazy things happen in March, and we know how I've been running. So, but I do like the Red Storm today. Maryland and Illinois. This is one. These two teams only played once this season as well, and I can't figure out it ought to be fishy. I ought to be scared of it right here, probably on the wrong side because it ought to be fishy. But Maryland whipped these boys down in Illinois. It was even in Champaign. And Maryland went down there and beat them by something 25 or 26. I want to say it was like 96-71 or something. And they thumped them, man. And now you've got a short line like this. Maryland has won, I think, 12 of their last 14 games on the season. They have been on fire as well, playing some good basketball. And it obviously didn't matter. And we got a neutral court here, but they went down to Illinois' house and thumped them. So I can't figure out why this line's so short. Maybe that ought to scare me, but I think maybe the books are just missing this one, man. I know you've seen Illinois play well yesterday, but I just think Maryland has got something figured out, and they are one of the hottest teams in the country right now. So if I can get them less than a bucket right there. I even laid the minus 112 on that one, but I do like the Terps over Illinois today. Like I said, you can take the money line at minus 118, but if you're going to do that, you might as well just take the minus 1 and just lay the minus 112. You can run it out a little bit, get some plus money on it. You ain't got to run it out real far. BYU and Hugh, I'm not messing with this North Carolina Duke game. I'm not going to skip over that one, y'all, but I'm just not messing with it. I got too many question marks. I have no idea what's going to be happening in that game. Cooper Flagg's probably not going to play. I don't think Malik Brown's going to play. They should have a game plan. I mean, they don't get it twisted. They still got studs all throughout that Duke roster. That's why I'm thinking the play's almost Duke. I really do. I think they drove this line down too far. They opened it at 7.5 with probably expecting Cooper Flagg to not play. They said it'd be a long shot, and I don't think he's playing. I don't think they're going to risk it with that guy. I don't think anybody is. I don't think his parents will let him risk it. I don't think anybody will let him risk it. That man's leg is worth too much money. So I don't think you see him this season or probably for the duration of the ACC tournament. But I still think that Duke team without him and even without Malik Brown, I still think that Duke team's better than that North Carolina team. Now, we'll see. It's Duke, North Carolina. Crazy things happen. Duke's already got them twice this year, blown them out twice. So crazy things happen. But I just feel like this Duke team is much better than North Carolina. But I decided to stay away from it because I got too many question marks. I just don't know what I'm going to get out of either squad tonight. And it's a rivalry game. You factor that in. You got the two big dogs hurt for Duke. Just too many question marks, man. I just stayed away. It'll be fun to watch, though, man. It's always fun to watch, no matter who's on the court. Missouri and Florida, I couldn't figure out. And I thought about taking Florida. Looked like the sharp side was on Florida this morning when we looked at the action report. But I don't know, man. I couldn't. I like that Missouri team all year long. I don't think that team should be getting that many points. Missouri beat them at Florida 83-82 earlier in the year. They only played one time. They did not play at Missouri. But they did beat Florida in Gainesville, and that was tough to do. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the only home loss for Florida this year. But so I can't figure out why they're going to give this team 8.5 points. That's the only thing that scared me away from the side of Missouri because I feel like the books are begging you to take them. So the over is probably the total, like I said last time, 83-82. So you're looking at 165. Sitting at 162.5, so probably going to be right on the number again. I do think there's a chance for overtime in this game, but you've seen crazier things too, where this game can go to overtime and Florida can still cover the damn 8.5 there. Crazy stuff happens in OT, but if you're thinking about the over, you may have that in play because I do think this Missouri team's good, and it was a very close 1-point game last time with Missouri coming out on top. So I do think they've been a little disrespected, kind of like that Louisville team this year, but Louisville didn't come out ready to go last night. Missouri did get the job done, but I just couldn't figure that one out either. I decided to stay away. I'm taking the over in this BYU-Houston game. I was looking at the Ken Palm metrics, and BYU likes to shoot that damn thing, man. We're going to check their numbers right here in Ken Palm. But you can look, I mean, they are the 9th ranked team in the country in offensive efficiency at 123.7. Effective field goal percentage, 57.8%. That's number 4 in the country. They also have a solid offensive rebound percentage at 33.2. You look at the 2-point percentage, top 5, 59.2. So this BYU team likes to score, dude. And I know how good Houston is offensively. But when you look at these games that Houston plays in where they do face a team that's in the top 25 in offensive efficiency in the country, they tend to go over. Because, like I said, Houston tends to play their style, but they can also mesh to another team style. I think BYU is going to try to run them down. They're going to try to get some shots up, try to get up on them early. So I think Houston may have to wind up coming back. The line's a little smaller than I expected. And that BYU team's playing some good basketball, which is part of the reason I'm looking at the over, because I think that BYU might jump on them early, and Houston may have to try to score to come back. Now, if Houston's able to build a lead earlier and just play defense, because like I said, they can lock down now, and they can kind of get BYU out of that game plan, running up and down the court, then it may trend under. But still, even this one with a close spread, once again, March, crazy things happen. Overtime factors there, and 134.5 is not a big number, man. That's not a big number at all. And they keep setting, I've told you that for a little bit now, they keep setting these Houston totals around that low 130s to high 120s, and they keep going in the low to mid 140s. I mean, they did it again yesterday. So maybe I'm wrong on this one, but I'm going back to the well. I got a 2-unit play on that one as well today. So I'd like to see some points in that one. UConn, man, they looked good last night. Villanova was up at the half by 5, and UConn comes out in the second half and blows the doors off. You got a Creighton team on the other that was only kind of in the same spot. Get behind to that DePaul team, which is not a very good DePaul team. Don't get it twisted. Villanova is a much better team than DePaul is. And DePaul winds up blowing it. Let Creighton come all the way back and win that thing. But I didn't really love the way they played in that one. It could be just maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid in this one too. But I look for UConn. Both these teams should be riding a little momentum. Like I said, big second halves last night. But UConn, I feel like this is their tournament to lose until it's not. Back-to-back national champs. Pretty sure they won the Big East in both those years. But playing up in New York there. And I just like this UConn team in March right now. For some reason, they tend to figure it out. Look at Creighton's struggles yesterday, and I think UConn will definitely be able to expose some of those struggles much better than DePaul did. So I just like UConn right here. Under 4, under 5, minus 4.5, minus 102. Like I said, I don't love that one, but after seeing what I saw from UConn in the second half yesterday, maybe I'll jump on this wagon a little bit. Maybe there's something to it in March. Y'all know I got a 3-unit play on this next one. I ain't touching that damn Purdue-Michigan game either. I have zero interest in that game. I don't know what's going to happen. I hate Purdue with every fiber of my being. So I don't know. I don't understand how that Michigan team has been atop the Big Ten all year long because I don't think that team's that great either. So I decided to stay away from that damn game. Kentucky, Alabama, 3-unit play on the over. System play for me. 179.5. I know it's $1 million. They went over this last time. No, this is the one they didn't go over. No, yeah, this is the one they didn't go over. This is the one that beat us. So they had it at 171.5. And, or no. Was it 179? Was it 181.5? And it landed on like 180. We lost it by 1.5. I remember, and they missed a combined 27 3-pointers and combined 10 free throws. So I'm going over again. That was the 5-unit play we lost on this one last time. So we wound up getting it back with Alabama and Auburn. But we're going over in this one too. I only put 3 units on this one. I didn't go the whole 5. But I am going over in this game. Anytime I see a total that high in an Alabama game, I'm betting the over. And you got a close spread there. Kentucky team looked pretty good yesterday. And did wind up getting the over for us last night. I didn't watch much of that one. I seen some of the highlights this morning, and they had a battle in their hands. But I did not see any of that one. It didn't come on until about 10:30 my time last night after the double OT Texas A&M game. So, like I said, this is more system play for me than Alabama over. Anytime I see one that high, I'm just betting it, man. I know I've won more than I've lost this year. I'm going to go back to the well on Louisville. Line is moving the wrong way on us. I do like the Clemson team too, but I feel like every time I do this, when a team does me wrong the day before, like I did Louisville yesterday, I took a minus 10.5, and they got bailed out by that Stanford guy throwing the pass to the wrong team at the end, hit the buzzer beater 1 by 2. I feel like every time I take a team like that, I want to just spite bet against them and take Clemson the next day. They wind up winning straight up. So this has been a solid squad all year long. Maybe they got their scare out of the way. They should be ready to go because they shouldn't even be playing today. They had to come back. I think Stanford was up 13 at one point in that game and had to come all the way back and get that W by a prayer at the end. And I think maybe that kind of shook off some of the rust there. And they're going to have to come to play today. This Clemson team's a good squad as well. And let's look and see what they did during the regular season against each other. Clemson and KenPom has it projected as a 71-70 Clemson win today in the regular season. Clemson and Louisville, where they play? Let's see. Clemson lost at Louisville 74-64. And it looks like that is the only time they have played. Yep, they did not play at Clemson. So Louisville did get the 10-point win last time. That scares me a little bit. Hard to beat a good team twice. They should be motivated for Clemson today. So I don't know that I love that one. I've already bet it. I'm already on the money line for Louisville plus 105. That's not until 9:30 tonight. So you can probably watch that line move for a little while. See how it goes and, make your call in a little while. If it keeps moving out, I'd be scared of Louisville. I bet it at even money. And now it's plus 105. So it's already moving the wrong way on us. That don't mean it won't move back to that. But I just keep an eye on the line because it's not until 9:30 tonight. And Arizona and Texas Tech, I'm going to take the over in this one, 152.5. Both these teams up there in offensive efficiency on KenPom. Arizona the last time they played. Let's see, I think Texas Tech got them at Arizona. They played one time this year, and they lost. No, they didn't. They played twice. They lost at Texas Tech 70-54, and then they beat Texas Tech 82-73 at home. So you got one of those games that went way under this number. But Texas Tech, more of a defensive-minded team. I feel like on the road, their games did trend under when Texas Tech played at home. So that makes sense. But when you look at out at Arizona, like I said, the final in that one was 82-73. So you're looking at 155 right there. This one's tonight. This is one I feel like is going to be a very close game, a battle back and forth. This is one that would really not surprise me. Too bet it to go to OT. You probably get some good value on just betting it to go to OT straight up. But this is one that wouldn't surprise me to see back and forth, a battle. You look at Texas Tech's game last night, man. They come out in that damn thing and scored 91 points in the first half, but they really locked down the D in the second half. But at 152.5 right there, I think it's going to play more like that game that played out of Arizona. You got a neutral court now. You got both teams of the game under their belt. And a little more used to that gym than they were yesterday. And Texas Tech in the second half. But I think this game will trend more like the one that the Pullers played at Arizona and got over this number. So, and then once again, the overtime factor. I think this one, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see that one go to OT, double OT, something like that. Because those two, in my opinion, the way Arizona's playing, Texas Tech, I give them the slight edge as far as overall team and overall body of work this season. But that Arizona team, when they're at their best, they're a great team too, man. I'm telling you, when they're at their best, they can beat anybody in the country. They've just had a hard time being consistent with that and stringing it all together, game in and game out. So I look for a back and forth battle on that one tonight, over 152.5 there. So I'll run through for y'all one more time real quick. Then we'll hop over and do hockey and the NBA. And like I said, this will be probably about 40, 45 minutes in this show today. But I got to get ready to watch my Vols, man. They're coming on at 3:30 against Texas today. I got to get ready to go. So in college basketball, I had the over in Ole Miss and Auburn. And I don't think they're going to sniff that damn thing unless we get OT by prayer or something. So we're probably going to start 0-1 on that one. But I got UCLA money line plus 105 against Wisconsin. That one tips off in about 8 minutes. So I got 1 unit on that. I got 2 units on the over in Texas and Tennessee, over 136.5 minus 110. That one tips off in about an hour at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. I got St. John's minus 3.5. I actually took them minus 4.5 at minus 105 for a unit. The line currently is minus 3.5, minus 115. Once again, up to you if you want to pay that juice or not. But I got St. John's minus 4.5 over Marquette. I took Maryland minus 1, minus 112 against Illinois. Did not touch Duke, North Carolina. Don't know what's going on there. Did not touch Missouri and Florida. I got the over in BYU and Houston. It's moved down to 133.5, but still juiced the over at minus 115. And I just think we're going to see some points in that one. Like I said, I think they're just missing that line. But we'll find out. What do I know? So we got the over in that one, 2-unit play there. And then we got UConn. I took UConn minus 4.5, minus 102 against Creighton. I got a 3-unit play on Kentucky, Alabama over 179.5, minus 110. I got a 1-unit play on Louisville. Money line, I got it even money. It is at plus 105, but once again, I would watch that one and see. I think that Clemson may wind up being the play on that one. And I got a 1-unit play on the over 152.5 in the Arizona-Texas Tech game, minus 105. It does scare me a little bit that I like so many overs today, but some of them are going over. Let's just hope we pick the right ones. Let's go over and look at the NBA and see, because I do have a few play. We got the system play today, man. I got a 3-unit play on the Miami Heat team total under 102.5. Y'all know the play we've talked about on the morning show and pump the brakes and all that. When the Boston Celtics lose, the next game you bet the opposing team's team total under. Something like 9-3 this year. And I believe we the last one was the one we lost when they played the Cavs. So we did lose that one. So we're going to double down tonight. We got a 3-unit play on Miami team total under 102.5 at minus 110. Like that one in 7:10 p.m. tip for that one. Then I'm going to roll this one right here in the Grizzlies, man. I think this line's too short. We said this morning. I got it at plus 114 on the money line for Memphis, and I put the 1-unit play there. But Cavaliers have been so hot. They're bound to drop one. They're just bound to drop one. This seems like one of those spots where Memphis has been hot lately. They can score in bunches too. I kind of like the over, but I just can't pick a Memphis Grizzlies total right. If I pick over, they go under. Pick under, they go over. So I'm not touching that. I'm just going to take the Grizzlies on the money line at home tonight. I do think they'll be hyped up, ready to go. You got the best team in basketball, has been the best team in basketball this year, one of them anyway. And you have no reason not to be focused up for this one. And I think Ja has a big night, and I think the Grizzlies do get it done. Like I said, Cavs are going to drop a couple the rest of the way. Will's giving you all that crazy stuff. They might wind up having less losses than the Browns did this year. That's hilarious. But I do think they're going to drop a few along the way, and this feels like it could be a tough spot tonight. So I got a unit play on the Grizzlies money line. Plus, I got it plus 114. You still get plus 110. So got value. And I'm going to take the Magic Timberwolves under 206.5 right here. I got bid on a Magic under the other night, but this is one that I think the T-Wolves could stretch out. I expect them. They're playing good basketball right now. I'm telling y'all, man, I don't think it's a bad bet to put a little half-unit sprinkle on the T-Wolves to win the West at plus 2,000. Anthony Edwards seems to be gearing up for a big run, and he's playing some good basketball right now. So I think the T-Wolves will stretch this thing out tonight, wind up being, you got the Magic on a back-to-back. They did blow the Pelicans out last night. Now you got to travel up to Minnesota on the back-to-back, and I like the under. Seeing this low total right here, 206.5. The last one I got bid on, I took the under 204.5, I think the other day, or 205.5 in that Heat Clippers game, and it soared over. So normally these low totals like this tend to go under. There's a reason it's that low. And so I'm going to take the Magic Timberwolves under 206.5, minus 108 for a unit as well. So that's the three I've got in the NBA tonight. I got the 3-unit play on the Miami Heat team total under 102.5 against the Boston Celtics. I've got the Grizzlies money line plus 110 against the Cavaliers. They are at home. Memphis is at home in that one. And then I've got the Orlando Magic, Minnesota Timberwolves under 206.5, minus 108 for a unit. So 1 unit each on both the bottom ones, and then got the 3-unit play on the team total under for the Heat. And over at Hockey, we got a few more games tonight than I realized, man. We got some lines out for tomorrow. We got a big slate for tomorrow, don't we? We'll look at those here in a minute and see if we like any lines early on, some that might move. But tonight, I'm going to take a surprising over in this one, man. I'm going to take these Stars and Jets over 6.5 at plus 130. You know, I don't like to lay that juice, like to move it around a little bit, man. And this is one I think a lot of people will expect to go under. It was a 3-1 final when they played earlier in the year down in Dallas. I cannot remember who won. Can't remember. I think it was Stars 3-1, but I do know the final was 3-1. And tonight, I think a lot of people are going to expect this to go under, but I've just been kind of struggling between the pipes for the Stars, man. You have seen some of these Stars games go over more often than not lately. You got a team in the Winnipeg Jets who I think only one of their last 6 games has gone over 6.5. They're about due for one of these games that you see some goals piled up in. And the Stars, you got 2. This could be a preview of your Western Conference Finals. Been 2 of the better teams in the league all year long. I think Winnipeg's something like 45-10, and I believe the Stars are something like 42-14 or something like that. So you got 2 40-plus win teams here. Like I said, could be a Western Conference Finals matchup. And I think tonight they score some goals, man. The Winnipeg Jets' last game is 2-1. You see it a lot, man. You see a team playing a low-scoring game like that, and they'll come out like gangbusters in the next one, trying to create some offensive chances there. You couple that with Ottinger's struggles lately, and I think we do see some goals out of this one, especially if the Stars have to wind up playing catch-up here. So we're not going to pick a side in that one because I do think it could go either way, but I do like over 6.5 at plus 130. Get you a little value there. I'm taking the under 5.5 in the Avalanche Flames plus 102 in this one. Colorado's games on the road, they're just not near sharp offensively, it seems, on the road. They're at home. You got a scrappy bunch in the Flames right here. Going to try to muck it up, mix it up. They know they're not as talented as the Avalanche squad. Few teams are. Colorado's got all kinds of talent here. So I think you see teams playing Colorado when Colorado's on the road. They're trying to get a game plan to where they don't maybe not try as many offensive chances. They're just trying not to give up offensive chances the other way. So you'll see them trying to play some mistake-free hockey there and just kind of muck it up some. And so I don't think we see a whole lot of goals in this one tonight. Calgary's a team that's also been kind of trending to the under. They cannot score in bunches. They did that one night. Steps wanted to take Connor Zary and didn't do it because he's scared of it. He should have. But they have kind of had trouble scoring since the Four Nations break. And I like the under 5.5 in this one right here, plus 102. Just one of those that feels like it could be another kind of like the Panthers Lightning last night, kind of a 3-2 either way. But it also wouldn't blow my mind to see like a 4-1 from the Avalanche. Now, I do think the Avalanche win the game. I don't want to lay the minus 1.5 plus 130 because Flames have been scrappy at home, but I'm damn sure not laying the minus 205 on the money line. The money line just moved. So I think the value, if you're going to bet the money line, is on Calgary because it wouldn't completely blow my mind to see them win this game tonight. But either way, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of goals. So I decided to just roll the total in this one. I'm going under the 5.5 plus 102 in the Avalanche Flames. I'm going to take my Ducks tonight, man, against the Preds. Ducks Preds. Is this the one we were talking about? Yeah, they play. Okay, they play out there today, and in a week they play back in Nashville. Because me and Buku were talking about when we went up to the Kraken game last week. We were saying that the Ducks Preds play in Nashville on March 20th. So we'll get a little revenge match. They'll be playing again next week. So we'll have to remember that. But I like the Ducks at home right here in this one. And this line hadn't really moved around at all. It's been sitting pretty still at plus 136 right here. Nashville been played some pretty decent hockey. Neither one of these teams had great seasons there. But both seem to be gritty teams, younger teams. And I like the Ducks here in this spot, just basically being at home. Nashville been on a little bit of a road stand out there. You got to think you'd be a little bit of tired legs, and how well they played the last couple. But they've won 3 in a row now, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong. But it does feel like the Preds have been a little hot lately, and now you're still on the road stand trying to get back home. I believe this is the last game of the road stand. So I'm going to take the value on the Ducks at home, man. Plus 136 right here. Y'all know I got a soft spot in my heart for this team, so maybe I'm betting with my heart on this one. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Ducks plus 136 on my line at home over the Preds. And I like this Utah Hockey Club team, man. Speaking of those Seattle Kraken, the Utah Hockey Club, the future Wasatch, will be traveling up to Seattle to play the Kraken tonight. And I'd have to ask Buku. It looks like they got the juice to the over 5.5 minus 130 there. This could be one we like both teams to score first period. Not sure if you're out there, Buku, but if you are, do we get the stamp on both teams to score first period in the Hockey Club Kraken game tonight? I like the Hockey Club, man. Minus 1.5 plus 164. This team's been playing some good hockey lately, too. Seattle been kind of peaks and valleys, man. They got in that shootout, the crazy game the other night where they won 4 seconds into overtime. Brandon Montour gets the game winner, the fastest goal in overtime history in the NHL. So the Kraken, that's the last memory they have on the ice. So they'll be coming into this one maybe a little excited. Maybe they partied too hard after that one, man. But I just like the Hockey Club right now. I like the way that team's been playing. And I'm going to take a minus 1.5. I took a minus 1.5 plus 170. Moving the right way for us at plus 164 right here. But this is more just a fade on the Kraken for me. The way they won that game the other night, I think they were all hyped, amped up. It was an exciting game, 5-4 final. And then you win it 4 seconds into OT. A lot of emotion. A lot of stuff goes into that. Now, you could say, on the other hand, is that maybe something that sparks them on a little streak right here? I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking at which team I think is better in this one, and I like the Utah Hockey Club, like Clayton Keller. Look for him to get a goal tonight. Well, maybe not a goal, man. Maybe bet him for a point. I don't know. You have to lay some money on him to bet a point. But you get some decent value on him for a goal. But I do like Clayton Keller a lot, man. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Wasatch tonight, minus 1.5, plus 164 at the Kraken. So that's the 4 I've got. Tonight, we're going to take Dallas Stars, Winnipeg Jets. You can take the over 5.5 if you want to be safe at minus 115. I took over 6.5 to get some value at plus 130 there. And then the Avalanche and Flames, I took the under 5.5 plus 102. I just don't think we see a lot of goals in that one tonight. I think the Flames will try to have a game plan to slow the Avalanche down. You got to, man. You got to. That team is very talented. To the Ducks on the money line plus 136 at home against the Preds. And I took the Utah Hockey Club minus 1.5 plus 164 is what you can get at right now at the Seattle Kraken. Looking at tomorrow, we got a big slate going on. I'm just trying to look here and see if we have any initial thoughts for tomorrow. If any of y'all like some stuff early tomorrow, let me know, man, so we can snag that before the lines move. I do think I like the Penguins right here, plus 120. And I kind of like the Buffalo Sabres, too. Sabres coming off a little road stand. They got smacked in the mouth in Detroit the other night. And you got Vegas. This will be the third game of their road stretch right now. Lost the first one at Pittsburgh. Then went down and won. Who did they play the other? The Blue Jackets. It was last night. Smacked the Blue Jackets in the mouth. So this will not be a back-to-back because this will be tomorrow. But, yeah, last night, Golden Knights 1-1 on the road. We know they've been, I think that makes them 15-13 on the road now, or 15-12, something like that. They have struggled much more on the road than they have at home. And now you got a Sabres team that needs a bounce-back spot here. Plus 150, I feel like that line's a little short. I feel like it ought to be more like plus 180 for the Sabres. So I think there's some value there now, and especially if I see that line move down. So initial thought in these, and granted, I'm not going to take them yet. So we'll get the picks out tomorrow, and that's when I'll decide for sure. But my initial thought in these is I like the plus 150 on the Sabres money line at home against the Golden Knights, and I like the Penguins money line plus 120 over the Devils. I'm just kind of fading the Devils right now, and I told you I think I was going to jump on the Penguins train in the home games the rest of the way because they've been sitting around there. You're usually getting plus money on them, but the lines are usually off when I look at the team's rosters up and down and feel like what the line should be based off overall talent and performance this year. And I think there's just something to betting the Penguins at home. And then, like I said, got the fade on the Devils too. I still don't think that team. I think they're in a lot of trouble. Too many injuries, man. Capitals at the Sharks. I probably will not touch this game because you'll have to lay way too much. You got to lay minus 102 at minus 1.5 is minus 102 for the Capitals there. But the Sharks did come through on that alt puck line last night that we talked about on Pump the Brakes. The minus 1.5 plus 195. They got it done. I saw, what was it, the Blackhawks they played? The Capitals need a bounce back win, so that might be one you wind up running out to minus 2.5 for Washington or something. But not playing their best hockey this season either. They better be glad they started out as hot as they did because they're not playing their best hockey right now. Oh, Grass Guy, you go. Here's your Rangers will play at the Blue Jackets. I'm pretty sure the Blue Jackets are damn dead to me. Like, my initial thought would be to go ahead and take that plus 114 right there, and then it'll wind up driving out or something. They'll announce some crazy goalie nonsense. Yeah, but I can't trust the Rangers either. I damn sure can't trust them on the road. So that would probably be a stay away for me as well. Hurricanes at the Flyers. I don't know what to do with that damn Flyers team. Bet against them. Probably Hurricanes minus 1.5 right there, plus 154. But we'll just have to watch that line move because I feel like the Flyers are going to keep biting me. They did it last night. I told y'all when I was finally bet against them, they was going to fool around and win one, and they damn sure did. I don't see that team winning 2 in a row, so I would expect Carolina to kind of handle them in that one. I'll probably bet against them again. This be their last chance, man. They wind up beating Carolina tomorrow. If I take Carolina minus the 1.5, they wind up beating them straight up. Philadelphia Flyers will officially be on the no-bet list. They're getting dangerously close now. Panthers at the Canadiens after just playing the playing the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. That was a good game. Told y'all, thought the thing was going to go 3-2 either way. We got lucky on it. It was 3-1. I think I said this morning it was 3-2 going in the third period. But it was 3-1 going in the third period. The Maple Leafs found one pretty early on in the third to get it to 3-2. But we wound up holding on in that one. Wound up holding on. Didn't get the empty netter and did go under the 5.5 for us there. So we're on a little Canadian road stretch here. And maybe we'll watch the line there. You might be able to get a good line now because that may wind up moving down. Like I said, Florida to get that win last night. Then they had the game at Boston where they blew that one late. So they played 3-2 games in a row here. Lost 1-1-1. So some intense hockey. Some hockey games you got to play all 60 minutes. And so maybe they're a little tired legs as well. Might be a spot for the Canadians. And if you like the Habs in that one, you might want to snag it now because I think the line does wind up going down. Lightning at the Bruins here. Bruins, I don't know what to do with them. I really don't. They didn't show up. Thought maybe they were getting a little momentum, maybe a little steam. I don't know how they could. We know everybody's gone from that team, pretty much the backbone of it, and they got thumped last night. And that one against the Senators. Senators look pretty good in that thing. That's a team to watch out for too. They might not be a bad little sprinkle. I'll be watching them when they get in the playoffs, looking at the matchups, things like that. But this team's getting real hot right now. Brady Tkachuk's playing some good hockey too. Senators, they thumped the Bruins last night. After the Bruins, now this could be a revenge spot for the Lightning because the Bruins in that first game after all those trades played this Lightning team and wound up thumping them, beat them 4-0, shut them out. So the Lightning will have that fresh on their mind. Just happened last week, and that may be. I may turn around and take the Lightning minus 1.5 in this one, just on the revenge spot. That's a good Tampa Bay team. They took it on the chin a couple in a row now, and they need a bounce back spot. Need to get right. And Boston, after showing me what they did last night, and knowing that they just beat Tampa Bay like they did last week, basically shorthanded, I think I might be looking at Tampa Bay right there. I believe they'll be focused up for this one. They need a big bounce back win. As Senators, Maple Leafs there. You got the Maple Leafs minus 1.5 on plus 154. And I'm telling you, I like this Senators team right now. I think initially I kind of like the plus 140 on the money line there. It's going to be, I don't know that I like minus 1.5 either way in that one. It feels like it's going to be a 1-goal game, kind of similar to that Florida game last night for the Maple Leafs. And I don't know that we see a whole lot of goals there. So I don't know that I want to chance the 1.5. So, but I do see some value in the Senators there. I mean, that team's playing some good hockey, man. Anytime you can get any plus money on them right now, the way they're playing, it's usually a good bet. Predators at the Kings. So the Predators will have one more game on the homestand after tonight. They'll be on a back-to-back tomorrow after playing the Ducks tonight. And that Kings team's playing some good hockey too. I keep shorting them, and they keep kicking me in the head for it. Did it again last night. Took the damn Capitals money line over them, and they beat them, I think, 4-1. So you can make some money on these Kings at home on the puck line, it seems. And minus 1.5 plus 114. I think that's still some good value there. Like I said, the Preds will be on a back-to-back in that one after playing in Anaheim tonight. And that will be a the third or fourth, fifth, maybe even of their little road stretch they've been on. They're getting ready to go back home, but they'll have to be. If they ain't tired tonight, they damn sure probably will be tomorrow. So I think initial thought there, Kings, that one may wind up moving down some, but I like the -1.5 plus 114 there. Blues at the Wild. This one I don't really have a grasp for, man. Like the Blues team, y'all know that. But the Wild's been one of those teams I zig when I'm supposed to zag on. I didn't touch them last night. Did they wind up winning last night? I don't remember if they wound up getting it done or not. I know a couple of y'all, Grass Guy, I believe you were on the Wild last night. They wound up pulling through for you, man. So I don't know here. I'm not gonna lay the -125, but another one that I feel like probably going to be a 1-goal game. Maybe this is one I might look at. I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see. I have to wait and see on that one. Minnesota games at home been trending way under lately, so I'm not going to take it down to 4.5. That's too much of a sweat. But I don't know if I feel comfortable. Maybe just take over 5.5 -105. There's value there. I kind of like that. I do think it'll wind up flipping around and going to -115, and that'll wind up making me want to take it over 6.5. And I think the play you can get value now over 5.5 -105 in that Blues Wild game could be one of those that just kind of I don't know what to see on that one. I ain't got my mind made up there. Blackhawks at the Canucks. Can't really trust the Canucks right now either, man. -1.5 plus 110. That's a bad team, the Blackhawks. So, I mean, I guess it's good that you're getting plus money there, but it scares me a little bit because it should be more like -110 for the -1.5 for Vancouver, just based off results and things this year. And I feel like putting the value out there, the plus money, the books maybe think you're maybe getting sneaky. Maybe that's one of the spots you turn around and take Blackhawks money line plus 200. So we'll just have to see. That's kind of the initial look at tomorrow's games there, y'all. So that's kind of some of the early ones I like for tomorrow. I like the Sabres money line plus 150, Penguins money line plus 120. I think I like the Hurricanes -1.5 plus 154, and the Senators money line plus 140 at the Maple Leafs. That's just an early look. We'll see what I wind up going with there. But for tonight's games, I like the over 6.5 at plus 130 in the Stars Jets. I like under 5.5 plus 102 in the Avalanche Flames. I like the Ducks money line plus 136, and I like the Utah Hockey Club -1.5 plus 164 at the Kraken. And in the NBA, I'm going to be rolling with the Heat team total under 102.5 for the 3-unit play. That is -110. I like the Grizzlies money line plus 110 at home against the Cavs for a unit, and then under 206.5 -108 in the Magic T-Wolves. And then in college basketball, man, we'll run down one more time. I got UCLA money line plus 110, Texas and Tennessee over 136.5 for 2 units, St. John's -4.5 -105 for a unit, Maryland -1 over Illinois, BYU and Houston, I got it over 134.5 for 2 units. Then I've got UConn -4.5 -102 over Creighton, Kentucky, Alabama over 179.5 -110 for 3 units, and Louisville plus 105 money line over Clemson for a unit, and then 1 unit on Arizona, Texas Tech over 152.5 -105. And these are all posted, y'all, over at sportspicks.locals.com and over on my X at Cricket1414. Cricket is spelled with 2 T's. So y'all can go find those over there if you want to tell them, if you want to fade them, whatever you want to do. Y'all should know I have been running a little rough the last few days. So, Will, if you're out there, man, we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up now. I got to get ready to go cheer my balls on, man. I hope all of y'all have you a great day out there. Good luck in all your wagers, man. We're going to be back with you bright and early in the morning. I think we're going to start at 8 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow for your Sports Morning Espresso Shot. But good luck in all of your wagers this evening. You and your beautiful family stay safe out there. We'll see you bright and early in the morning. And until then, good luck, good gambling, and game on. Go Vols.